Okay, let's do this. Hi, my name is Richard.lesperance, and I go by the name of my man Richard. Welcome to a better lifestyle. Today we're gonna talk about digital marketing and AI. So I have the pleasure to have Robert Brill with me. He has 20 years in the space in the advertising space. So I think you guys are gonna enjoy this episode. So please, Robert, tell a little bit about yourself.
Thanks for having me. What's your name? My man Richard?
Yeah.
My man Richard. All right. So thanks for having me, my man Richard. Let's see, 20 years in advertising. 10 of those years I spent bootstrapping my own advertising agency, married, child, and I'm a big fan of the Los Angeles Dodgers.
Okay. What's your current experience right now? You're hands-on with AI.
Yeah, so the advertising business is and I think a really good way has been impacted by AI in a number of different ways. And there's a few ways that this happens. Number one, if you're buying ads on Meta, you're benefiting from AI and machine learning because Meta is really good at helping you find your customers with by routing your ad creative to the right people. So just if you're buying ads on Meta, you're benefiting from AI. In more practical or hands-on terms, um, AI can be used in a lot of different ways. In our business, we use it as an accelerator to grow, to do our work better, faster, more effectively. And I'll give you a few examples of that. So, if I'm doing some research on a topic because I want to write an article and for SEO for search engine optimization so that we rank higher on certain keywords, I might do a little bit of research about the top 7 benefits of like ad retargeting. And if I did it on my own, it would probably take me 20 to 30 minutes to orient my brain around ad retargeting. Now, mind you, I've been doing retargeting for as long as it's been around, at least 10, if not 15 years. So I understand how to do it, but I have to really orient my brain around how the benefits look to the customer. So instead of doing 30 minutes or 40 minutes of research, I'll go to AI, I'll go to ChatGPT and say, what are the top 10 benefits of retargeting? And it'll list a bunch of things down. And so instead of spending 30 or 40 minutes, I get the information in about 2 minutes, probably less. So it's an accelerator. It saves me time and lets me do more higher value work with my time. In another use case of AI, we built a chat agent. So Chat GPT, you can build a chat agent. And a chat agent is a natural language bot that you can talk in natural language to program it, like there's no coding involved, and you can talk in natural language to extract the information out of it. So in our case, I built a bot or an agent specifically to write ads for us, to write copy. And so this bot knows how to do a few things. Number one, it knows the most commonly used frameworks for copywriting. That's number one. It understands the best practices and the types of content being created from top copywriters in the world over the last 30, 40, 50 years. It knows if you ask it to scrape an advertiser's website, you can do that. So meaning it'll understand how a business talks about itself, because that's very important to have copy that is aligned from the ads that you see to the website that you see. So we want to understand how a brand talks about itself. And then you can tell it to write ads for Google and Facebook, and it understands the ad specs. And then finally, it'll ask you a series of questions that will help it create better copy, like what is the transformative value of the product or service? Who is your ideal customer? It takes you down the path of a consultant that might be helping you in real time to understand who your audience is and why they might buy. All of this process is condensed into about 2 minutes, and you'll get 10, 20, 100 different ad variations for Google search, for Meta, for banners, whatever you're writing ads for. And so that's again another accelerate. It's a way to accelerate your business, accelerate how you use your time, and make you more productive. It also, for us, allows us to pass on cost savings to our clients and retain more revenue inside our business.
Do you see some disadvantages at the moment because people might rely too much on AI?
Yeah, so I think AI, if done incorrectly, can lead to bad outcomes. So, for example, there are examples online of people talking about a chatbot, talking to a chatbot, and requiring getting the chatbot to say things that are not in the best interest of the company because they understand that the chatbot is probably connected to ChatGPT, and they understand how to use ChatGPT to get to say the wrong things. So, for example, an airline ticket that is normally $500, the chatbot gives it away for $1, right? That type of thing can be manipulated. And I think customer access to AI can lead to bad things. I think AI should be part of a curation process that gives businesses more of their time back to do higher value work. I haven't found a use case where I can deploy AI directly to the customer and feel 100% confident that it's going to do the right thing for me.
So on that line, so the customer experience with AI now, how do you think that's going to be?
Look, I think, I had a video go viral showing a demo of an AI bot having a verbal conversation with a human about selling their business. And what what you don't see in that in the TikTok that I posted is the first part of the audio, which is the AI talks to a person in the business, and the person's like, "I'm not the owner. You're gonna have to talk to the owner." The AI then says, "Hey, could you transfer me to the owner?" The human does it. The owner then gets on the phone, and they have a conversation. And so I think there are a lot of use cases there where it can be really interesting. It's just not foolproof. And invariably, by using AI, I think it's gonna be a numbers game where there can be a lot of, like, if you have it interact with 1,000 people, like maybe five of those people or 10 of those people will have bad experiences. And the question is, as a business, is that okay with you? And for some businesses, the answer is yes. For some business, the answer is no. But I think there's going to be a small minority of interactions with AI that are going to be terribly damaging for the brand.
Well, so do you have knowledge of companies that have used AI and digital marketing successfully?
I don't know the specifics, but the way that you can figure that out is when you look at ads and you see AI in ads. Like, we use imagery from Midjourney in our ads, and they're some of our top performing ads. And so I don't know the specifics of what companies are doing or not doing, because I think there are a lot of companies who want to just blend in, and meaning that there's no clear indication of which is a human and which is an AI, and the assumption there is that everything is going to be human, but some of those are going to be AI. So I don't know which companies are doing that or not doing that effectively. What I will say, I something comes to mind. Klarna, which is the pay-as-you-go company, um, they, my understanding is they laid off 700 people maybe a year and a half ago. And then in their most recent earnings, they're saying that AI is replacing those 700 people and then some, doing the work of more than 700 people. So that's one instance where AI is going to be a financial accelerator for for a company. So Klarna is a good example of that.
So how do you see now a company who wants to set up an advertising campaign? How do you think that's going to be like with the AI when they're going to implement AI in the mix?
Yeah, so I think I think, look, I see ads all the time. There's one company, I don't know their name, but I see an ad all the time where they say like, look, our AI is running our ads and, and making the optimization decisions. Knowing how hard we work for clients and understanding the intricacies of the work that we do and understanding the human component of what we do, I don't, I don't see how that's effective. Maybe I should try it. I mean, that's the reality. I should run some of our campaigns for Brill Media for us as an advertiser with AI just to see what happens and understand. But fundamentally, I think there's too much human nuance for campaigns to be fully executed by AI completely. And that could be hubris, right? Like that could be just my simple mind thinking that we're far too complex as a business to outsource it all to AI. What I'll say though is that I think, going back to what I said earlier, I think the best use of AI is going to be when it's a combination of AI and humans working together to create really good outcomes for businesses. Because again, unfettered access to I think, is never going to be perfect, and you really need to get as close to perfection as possible.
Do you think it's gonna be better for the analytics?
Look, I think analytics is a prime use case for AI. I think looking at mass amounts of data, looking for trends, and being able to query an AI. I just saw a tool for Amazon yesterday. It's called Junglelytics, where for Amazon, like sales and financial activity tied to Amazon sales, you can query their tool and their tool will give you answers. It's as if you're talking to an account person and you ask the account person, well, what was our cost per cost per click for the last week? You ask it that question and it'll answer in natural language, and it'll answer that question with natural language answer plus a graph generated from the data. That I think is a really good use case for AI.
What about the cost of setting up everything? What about that?
I mean, every day the cost is dropping. I mean, and a prime example of that is when ChatGPT was released in about late November, early December of 2022. It took the world by storm. It was such a dramatic shift in the way we engage with AI. In fact, most people hadn't engaged with AI prior to that, at least not knowingly. And over the course of that year, from November, like let's say December 22 to about November 23, there were definitely companies that were saying, "Well, I'm going to build my own AI bot," and they were working with developers, and it was going to be complicated, and all that work went away. And it didn't even need to happen when ChatGPT released the new version, I guess version 4 in 2023, that made it possible to in natural language create a chat agent. So that's a prime example of cost dramatically dropping in a second in one release. It, AI is continuously getting smarter, whereas humans are mostly on decline. Like, right, we have a ramp up period until whatever age I'm not a scientist in that department. I don't know how that works, but at some point, humans, our cognitive ability, our physical ability, all that stuff starts to decline. But AI models like ChatGPT and Claude and etc., they're always going to be improving as long as there's a need for them, which means that costs are ever going to come down.
Do you know any what are the main like digital marketing tools that businesses should have in their toolbox?
Oh, there's many. I mean, for editing, it's Descript. I love Descript. Let's see. There are other tools. I kind of want to check one thing here. Like you can go to reusevideo.com for video, like basically posting content to one piece of um, content. Like if you post to TikTok, for example, and then you want to post the same video to LinkedIn and YouTube, that tool will allow you to do that very easily with like 2 clicks of the button. So reusevideo.com is another one. Um, what else are we using? I like Notion. I think Notion is really interesting because it's a good way to organize my thoughts in a very interesting way. I've never been able to do this with a tool. You can create like databases really easily, and the databases are live. Like you can continuously update it. And those databases help me keep track of tasks. So I'm a very task-oriented person, and standard operating procedures make a big difference in our business. So when I have a big project that I want to do, I chunk it out into steps. I put those steps into a table, and that table becomes our way of mapping where we are in the process.
Any trends right now at the moment?
Yeah, a few trends. Going back to specifically advertising, and I also want to underscore when you talk about advertising, advertising is when you're spending money to a platform to deliver a message. So if you're not, so an example would be like you're paying $1,000 to Facebook to deliver your message to Facebook users. You're spending $500 on Hulu to deliver your message on Hulu, and Google, etc. It's not advertising if you're posting on Facebook and you're just saying like, look, I'm going to post it, and it's organic reach. It's not SEO. So I just want to underscore that what we're talking about. Advertising in particular, there's kind of like two trends that are really important. Number one is going to be algorithmic decisioning, going back to the use of AI and large language models and machine learning. So the big trend right now in advertising is that granular targeting. Let's talk about Meta. Age, gender, and location is the broad targeting that you need to deploy for your campaigns. And you need to stop doing targeting with interest and keywords. The reason is interest and keyword targeting is very granular, and it's technology that hasn't been updated for many years now. It's like using an iPhone from 2017. It still works, but the iPhone from 2024 or 2023 is better, right? So instead of doing granular targeting where you're going, very small audiences, you want to go as broad as possible. And when you go broad, you're giving Meta's machine learning algorithm the opportunity to find your best customers. So what that means in practice is that if you're a restaurant and people will only travel 5 miles to your restaurant, then your broad targeting is 5 miles. For us, B2B services, our broad targeting is anyone physically in the United States, because we can work with any company in the United States. So, and then you develop ads that speak directly to your audience. So the first trend is algorithmic decisioning, giving the algorithm the opportunity to route your ads to the right audience. The next trend is using a creative testing framework to really understand which ads are the absolute best. And fundamentally, the way it works on Meta, all you have to do is commit to creating 5 ads per month. And when you create 5 ads per month, you have a number of different elements. Each ad is comprised of 3 different elements. So when you have 5 ads, you have 15 different elements. And what you're going to do is you're going to mix and match all those elements. And it creates the way it's laid out. You have 5 headlines, 5 images or video, and 5 primary text. When you mix and match all the possible variations, you have 125 possible ad variations to test. Then you use science, control and variable testing, powered by Meta's algorithm to find your best customer, to find your best ad creative, I should say. And over the course of 30 days, you went from 125 possible ads that are like in competition down to 1. And that 1 is your all-star ad. And then you repeat that cycle every month. And what you start to find is which products and services, audiences, offers, and discounts really resonate for your business. And what you'll find is that most of your leads and most of your sales are going to come from your all-star ads.
So obviously companies are going to have to set up some training when it comes to AI and all that stuff in digital marketing. How do you think they should proceed?
Um, tinker. I think you need to be a tech tinkerer. The goal here is um start playing with tools like Claude, like Gemini, like Chat GPT. Pay excuse me, pay for the premium version because you can do a lot more with that. Pay for, it's like $20 a month, pay for Midjourney so you can develop images with Midjourney. Understand how to use these tools because every year that passes, these tools are going to become far more powerful and far more relevant to everyone's business. I don't care what you do.
You talk in one episode I was listening to, you talk about advertising like a pro.
Yeah.
You give, can you give some tips on that?
Yeah. Do that broad targeting on Meta, age, gender, and location, powered by a creative testing framework. What Meta is really good at, for example, Meta is really good at routing your ads to the right people who are interested in your ads. So if you make an ad about astrology, the people who are interested in astrology will get your ad. If you make an ad about cups or glassware, the people who are interested in that will get your ad. Even if you're targeting very broad audiences. If you're targeting white label advertising or outsourced advertising, the people who are interested in outsourced advertising will be seeing our ads. So that's a big trend. You're seeing the same thing on Google with Performance Max. Like you upload a lot of different creative executions and your ads get delivered on Gmail, on YouTube, on Google search, and with banners. You do the same with TikTok. You upload a bunch of ads and you set the targets to broad, and it's going to use TikTok's algorithm to find your best customers with the smart performance ads. So the idea here is that granular targeting is going away with the exception of search. Search is still very granular, but even there, you're uploading like 15 different headlines and 4 descriptions, and those elements are being combined in different ways to give you the best possible outcome for your search ads. So the trend for you to advertise like a pro is number one, listen to pros, hire people who can give you consultation or do the work for you, because just talking about it is not good enough to activate it effectively, because there are steps after this to kind of like make it work. But fundamentally, what I would say to anyone listening is you're always looking for testing opportunities. You're a scientist. You're going to run an ad, see how it does, and improve. You're going to run a lot of ads, see how they do and improve. Their calibration points. You need a strategy. And a strategy helps you go from point A to point B. Point A being where you are today, and point B where you want to be in the future success of your company. And you work backwards to understand the steps that you need to take to get you to point B. So strategy is an important part of that equation as well.
Last words and everything we talked about.
Yeah, I think being an entrepreneur is difficult, and you need people along the way who can help you. And they should be your friends, family, people who are uplifting, people who are going to see growth opportunities in you. And I think every failure is an opportunity to learn and to grow. And then finally, for anyone out there that wants to like learn the marketing and advertising business, we have a course that's out to teach you about the marketing and advertising business so you can create an agency and outsource everything so you don't have to do the actual work.
And just to add on with the AI and the digital marketing space, what can you say to people like in regards to that, to the future?
Be a tech tinkerer. Just get on the tools today, this week. This week is better than next week. And start messing around. Today you're going to be a newbie. In 3 months you'll be a pro. Because no one's an expert at this stuff. Like I see people in the marketplace, but like I'm an AI consultant. Like you're just as new to this as I am. Because the people who are doing like the hardcore research, the hardcore AI stuff, they work for ChatGPT and Microsoft. The rest of us are consumer face. We're consumer facing. Like we all started at the same point. We all started using ChatGPT in December of 2022. So we all have the same amount of experience since December of 2022. So even if you're late to the game and you're a year late, it's okay. The game hasn't even started yet.
Where can people find you on social media or the internet?
Yeah, brillmedia.co, B as in boy, RILL media.co. And find us on TikTok. We post a lot on TikTok. We're also on LinkedIn, on YouTube, etc. Look for Brill_media.
Okay, thanks, Robert, for being here. It was nice meeting you and talking to you. So thank you, everybody, for taking the time to listen to the podcast, and we'll see you on the next episode, everybody. Goodbye.